I know. I'm just good job we didn't train this afternoon. How are you doing? You okay?
Yeah. Just opposite too. Yes, please, mate.
Oh, so, you've got this one, yeah?
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Now, push your thing over.
This one?
Yeah.
Microphones as well?
Cheers, Dan.
Okay.
Oh.
No.
We've got to keep going for sponsors, so I'll move them across a bit for you to see.
You not seen me?
Oh,
Go on.
thanks, Hugh. There you go. Ah, it's not happening, is it? I'll have a row. Okay, across the pad, welcome to the press conference. So Dan will go first, followed by Craig. Would like to go?
Okay, well, I'll start off. Dan, just a quick one if I can about Craig. Obviously, we know about the disappointment when we spoke with you all after the playoff final, but Craig was being linked with clubs because of the job he's done with Wales, but he's made a commitment to stay with Wales now through to Euro 2028. He's made that commitment to me and off the record chats very forcibly. How does it feel as a player that you know your manager's right behind you and he wants to lead you at the next major tournament?
Yeah, I think having obviously a manager like Craig has been absolutely brilliant for us. You've seen how we've developed over the last couple of years. I think we look back at the last game, not reaching the World Cup is still very fresh in our minds. But I think as players, the staff are super proud of how far we've come, how well we've performed, and that's what we've just got to push on to do, and to have that behind you, knowing that you have the manager and staff there to push you along. And we've got massive games coming up. These next two obviously so important going into the Nations League. We're going to be playing top teams in Group A. We want to stay there in the Nations League. That's the teams we want to play against. And we've got home Euros to look forward to. We want to qualify for that. To play in front of our home fans would be unbelievable, and it's one that all boys are looking forward to. But it starts now.
Craig's a couple of years into this job. What's his USP? Why is he special? Why is he different?
I think on a personal level, he's a player that's obviously played my position, so it's always great to hear that. But I think he's given so much to us as a team, and he's also brought in great staff who he really trusts, and we do as players. And I think you see how we play on the pitch. We're a team that brings a lot of energy. We like to play out the back. I think it's shown all these games that we've really improved on that. You look at the stats that we've done. We're competing with some of the top teams in the world, and stats that we want to be good at, and it's something that we want to keep improving on, because we believe that we should be at the major tournaments. We were unfortunate not to make the World Cup. As I said, it's still fresh in our minds, but we're super focused on our next games now.
Just in terms on that disappointment, can you just a slight reflection on what I know? I think we all saw you leaving the stadium, how just distraught you were, how you're bottling in that, and maybe why there's so much energy about looking forward to Euro 2028. What is, the motivation is clear, but why that momentum? Why do you feel like that? Have you bottling that disappointment, I suppose?
Yeah, we've just got to use it as fuel going into these next games. You've got to take every game, as it comes, and whether it's a friendly, Nations League, Euro qualifiers, we treat every game the same. We want to, implement the way we play. We've got another, important home game tomorrow against a very good team who are going to be at the World Cup. So, these are the sort of teams, we want to play against, and we've just got to keep implementing the way we want to play every game and showcasing what we can do.
Just on Ghana, where do you see their strengths? They're packed full of players that we'll know because they're playing the Premier League and the Championship. They're well-known players. What problems do you think they're going to pose you? Because it's not just a game for you. There are other nations watching this: England, Panama, Croatia. They're all going to be doing the video analysis on how you take them on tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think they pose a lot of threats all around the pitch. They've a team that is done very well. They qualified for the World Cup, which is unbelievable, and I'm sure other teams will be watching. But I think for us tomorrow, it's about, how can we showcase what we want to do. I think we obviously we know their strengths and what they can do, but for us it's a home game tomorrow as well, and I think we're just as much up for it as they will be.
Dan, just the last one from me. Are you one of those players that just loves football and watches anything, or is when June the 9th, when the World Cup kicks off, are you just going, nah, not for me? I don't know which side of the coin do you fall on the World Cup, watching it or not?
I think obviously for us it's disappointing not to be there, but as I said, I'll probably be on holiday at the time. I think if games are on TV, I'm a lover of football. I'm sure a lot of the boys will be watching games throughout the World Cup this summer. Obviously, as I said, really disappointing that we're not there, but I'm sure if it's on TV, it'll be something I'll be watching. Thank you.
Hi Dan, how you doing?
Hi, okay.
I was just wondering how you felt the season had been for you from a personal perspective for club and country as well. It's been a great season for Leeds as well as Wales, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a brilliant season. I think starting with Leeds, we achieved our goals of staying in the Premier League, and that's what we wanted to do. We want to become that established Premier League team, and this season we just want to. I said no. Next season we just want to push on and become that. For Wales as well, I think it was a great year. As I said, it was disappointing not to make the World Cup, but as I said, it just fuels us for the next games.
When I was watching Leeds, I was impressed by how you went from putting teams away in the Championship, knuckling down and becoming quite hard to beat and tight. Do you think Wales maybe need to add a bit of that to their armoury? Because we saw against North Macedonia, you can blow teams away at times, but maybe when the game is tight, there's something missing. Can you take something from your club team with Wales?
Not really. It's completely different. I wouldn't say that we've been blown away by teams. I think we were very unfortunate not to. We conceded a late goal against Bosnia. It's gone all the way to penalties, and again it's one where it can go either way. And Bosnia are a top team. They went on to beat Italy as well, and I'm sure they'll do very well in the group as well. I wouldn't count them out. I think they'll do really well there. So. No, it's completely different. I think we want to be as solid as we can, and keep improving that.
And one of the shames among many of that Bosnia defeat is that it consigns your goal to history. Had you won, it would have gone down as one of the best goals in recent memory, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course. I think, as I said, it's always nice to score, for your country. I was disappointed not to win that game because I thought we deserved it, but that's football at the end of the day, and unfortunately we were on the wrong side of it.
Just finally from me, you've got a couple of seasoned pros coming back in for this squad in Ben Davies and Connor Roberts. How nice is it to have them back in the fold?
Yeah, it's been a big lift for us. Players that have been brilliant throughout the years, and we definitely missed them. Last camp, and to have them coming from a senior point of view is brilliant, especially with a lot of young boys joining us this week as well, which has been great for them, and to hear voices like that always helps them. Thank you.
Hi Dan. Listen, during that match against Bosnia, you were terrific. I think there was a lot of people wondering why you didn't stay on, but the manager said you hadn't played a lot of minutes. Your fitness there. If he could have kept you on, he would have. How are you feeling coming into this camp in terms of minutes and your legs and freshness?
Yeah, I said that's there was a lot of stuff said after the game, but I completely agreed with the decision. I think my body was saying the same as well. I would have loved to have stayed on and given more, but I think the way I was feeling fitness at that time, coming in with not so many minutes, having been injured previously, and since then hadn't had a lot of minutes club level, it was completely the right decision. I said, I would love to stay on, played extra time, but it wasn't right, and it was, you get to that point where you risk an injury. But coming to this camp, I think I'm feeling a lot fitter. I'm feeling good. Been fit for a long time. Got some minutes towards the end of the season, and feeling in a really good place.
Is it a big summer for you then? Is it a chance to sort of reset? I suppose some players are desperate for the end of the season. For yourself, maybe it's a chance to prepare yourself for the next campaign and be flying in August.
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly right. I think to get the minutes at the end of the season was so big for me, and then coming into these games, I want to use it as fuel into the next season. I've been really looking forward to these games, and as I said, every time I put on the shirt, I feel that pride, and whether it's a friendly Nations League, Euro qualifier, I enjoy every one, and yeah, I'll take it in. I think last couple of seasons might have gone into the summer with a slight injury, which is also not helped going into pre-season. So I want to be as fit as I can at the end of the season going into pre-season.
And could you tell us about the new boy? I think Jayden's come in, hasn't he? If he's a left back and you're right, have you been training against him, or can you tell us anything about Jayden Lienou? Is that how you pronounce it?
Lienou.
Lienou. There we go.
Yeah, so Jayden's a player that plays for Leeds. He's been brilliant this season. He's been training with us a lot. So yeah, a lot of Leeds have been training against him. He's a great lad. I think it would be great for him, this week to experience that, but also to have a few familiar faces. It always helps coming into camp, and I think he thoroughly deserves it. I think he's been great since he's been here. He's also been great at Leeds, and he's definitely one for the future. He's a top player.
Hi Dan, just very quickly picking up from that point about Jayden. You've been there yourself as a youngster coming in. I think you were 19 when you first came into
19,
camp?
20 maybe.
Yeah. What's that like for someone so young to come into a camp like this?
Yeah, it's obviously a different environment, but I feel like the pathway for Wales, and I think we've got such a humble squad coming into it. I think there's also a lot of younger players who come through as well at the same time. So, as I said, for Jayden, it's nice for him probably to see some familiar faces, but also boys that he's, playing with it in the Euro under-19s next week. So, it's one that I think all players, all staff, all welcome you. I think the first couple of camps are a little bit nervy, but as I said, it's a great pathway to come through Wales, and everyone welcomes you.
Thanks, Dan.
Any more?
I saw you make a debut for Swansea City. I remember the day very, very clearly. You come into this camp, as you just said, new player, work your way through. What do you see differences in the Welsh setup now compared to the Welsh setup you first joined the Welsh senior squad?
Yeah, I think it's obviously a little bit different now. The facilities, the money the FAW have put in is been amazing to develop players. As you see, the building we're in now wasn't here when I was here, and they're just doing everything they can to help us as players. We've got more coaching staff, and we're just trying to improve every year. So I think it was 8 or 9 years ago since I've been, and every year I felt an improvement.
International camp, a lot will be dependent on what happens within the camp, on position within the table, and also what's going on a competitive level within the countries you're up against. And also, of course, what's going on in the individual clubs that each of the players come from and come together. You come to this camp now, we know what the summer holds for everybody. What's the mood within the camp that you can talk to us about in this press conference today? How do you see the mood within the players, both experienced players like yourself and the newcomers?
Yeah, the mood's been great. I think we all thoroughly enjoy joining up with our country, and as I said before, it's a friendly tomorrow, but it's not. We're not going to treat it like a friendly. We've got we fully earned ourselves a spot in Group A, and we're playing against some of the top teams in the world who are going to be great tests, and we have to be ready for that. So I think these two games are massive for us, really, going into them games. We want to be ready, we want to be prepared, we want to show what we can do, because we know we've got so much improving to do, and we want to play against them teams all the time. So yeah, to have that to look forward to, and have the Euro qualifiers to look forward to as well, is obviously fantastic. But it all starts tomorrow, and how we can implement the way we want to play.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Diolch yn fawr pawb. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, a little bit, but yeah. I feel like if I say it, then I'm not ready for club management. You know, it's like, it's only so much I can work. But no, Dragon Park's been quite busy, so there's been a lot going on. So it's been nice. You got a young.
There's more of you at the back. You look like a boy's choir up there, isn't it? Yeah, I'm actually 3 days of it now. Okay, Craig, so welcome to this press conference ahead of the Ghana game with Wales head coach Craig Bellamy, and we'll do the same as usual. 3 questions each, yeah? Who wants to go first? Geraint? Yeah, go on.
Okay, Jill, thank you. Hi, Craig. It's good to see you here, and I think for a lot of Wales fans, it's good to see you in a Wales kit. I know you and I have spoken sort of off the record, but the camera's here now. Can I just ask you sort of what the period was like after the playoff defeat, and also speculation about your future? Because of the job you're doing, you are going to be linked with clubs, but you've made a commitment to Wales for the Euros. Can you just let us know why and how the last couple of months have been for you?
No, it's straight away. Initially was, of course, disappointing. A difficult, few days after the camp, because your objective of what you set out to do, and I literally thought it was a realistic objective that we weren't able to complete. So that was, actually being a coach of a team. This is obviously my first time doing it. You felt the disappointment for the players, and that's quite new to me because I've always been part of the coaching staff and I was a player myself. So that was a new feeling and actually hurt more than I anticipated. But then suddenly, family life doesn't stop. The 1-year-old's still up at 6 a.m. It's get up, get on with it. And actually then you start looking at parts of where can we improve? Do I see this team? Can it improve? Can I improve? Do I see legs in both? And then I do, and I see it, and then that's the motivation. Then okay, let's start looking at this. Let's start moving this. How can we progress this? How can we just become a better team? How can I become a better coach? How can the staff become better? How can we become a better association? And there's a lot then you feel, this is nice. Because all I care about is improving. And I was like it as a player. The moment I can't improve, trust me, that's when I stop. Now, like I said, other players have found that luxury a lot earlier than I did. I was 34 and I knew I couldn't get any better. I couldn't improve. Then I stopped. Until then, I felt every day something can improve for me. And this is the case. This is how I try and my psyche of how I live and how I try to be the best I can be. And that's what I see with this team. I see improvement. I feel this team can improve, and I feel I can improve as well. So, yeah, that's my motivation, and that was my motivation soon after it as well. Can we get better?
And in terms of that, that's the initial thing. The longer term, you don't have to wait long. Yes, you've got Nation Leagues, but you've got Euro 2028, which if it goes well, you could be leading the team out at the opening match. Wales hosting a major tournament. Just how much of a pull was that you wanted to be part of that?
No, of course it is. It's unique. It's unique. Listen, being a Welsh manager, full stop, it's unique. You're part of a few. And as Welsh people ourselves, and for ones who ain't, and it might be their country or your country's the most important. It always has been. No matter what club I've been at. People might say you're born in Cardiff. I'm born in Wales. I'm not born in Cardiff, I'm born in Wales. And it's always been the most important to me. And I've always looked at it that way. So to be national team manager, and I'm sure like plenty of Welsh people also, but plenty of ex-players who have not been in this position would give anything to be in this position. And the ones who have been in this position would want to be in this position again. It's an amazing time. And I don't want to wish that away. And then the opportunity of having a Home Nations, a tournament, going to the Principality. I can only imagine what the streets would be like leading into it. Would you want to take it? Exactly. You know, so to us, I know you're going to ask questions, but I think we know it. We know it. Yeah, hopefully I do a good enough job in these 2 years that I don't get sacked, that I'm still able to do it.
Listen, you've made your commitment to Wales clear, because there was you know what it's like. There's a lot of speculation out there. You've done very well. That's going to happen. It's a nice thing. I suppose my final question to you on this is, what's it been like knowing that you're being noticed by several big clubs, and also maybe in the future your desire to be in club management?
Yeah, no, look, I miss every day. Every day. I miss not being able to do this every single day, of course. But I knew what I was coming into as well. And trust, the relationship I have with Noel is really, really strong. We speak every day. So we never hide anything as well. I'm completely open and honest with him. He knows exactly how I feel. Any interest, he knows exactly firsthand. Any conversations, he knows exactly firsthand as well. We don't hide anything from each other. To me, the most important is, when that day does come, is it a situation that's going to allow me to become successful? Is it going to have everything in place to allow me to be that? And at this present time, I have that here. Everything's in place. I get completely backed, and it's going to give me the opportunity of, hopefully, in the next 2 years, to improve again. And then the situation after that, then we'll see. But yeah, links now, I don't know. I understand it, but I don't look too far into it, Garrett. That's the honest truth. It's I love what I have here. I hope you're reasonably happy with me, and I hope fans are reasonably happy with me. I'm not going to please everyone. I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I do understand that. I'm sorry if I pick certain players at certain times. I'm never going to please anyone, or everyone, shall I say. But that's the great part of the game. And that's the responsibility of when you do this as well. So, yeah, I'm fully focused on the next 2 years.
Dav.
And just on that, Craig, I think, like Geraint says, it'll be encouraging for those who have been impressed by the work you've done in the 2 years so far. You say that next project, and it will come, obviously, at some stage, needs to fully back you, needs to be something you believe in. So I'm guessing from those links you've had so far, the offer hasn't come along that's allowed you to turn your head, because, like you say, you are fully focused and you have what you want here.
And I've been offered that elsewhere as well. But I have this here already. I'm here. So that's what's been important to me. Wales give me this opportunity. And one or two might not have. Because I was conscious, I haven't managed before. The word temperament gets used a lot. What's he going to be like? Is he going to explode? And I understand a lot of it. But Wales have given me this opportunity. And I'm really grateful for that. And everything, they've taught me, honestly, of when you have everything's put in place, it's going to allow you to be the best version of you. Not completely perfect. I'm not saying I've excelled at this, but I feel personally that it's allowed me to enjoy it, and I think the team have enjoyed it. And I like to believe, and this is me probably being single-minded and only. I honestly, if I look from afar, I'd say, yeah, they're righties. They're quite a good team, And actually, the coaches are right, by the way. Maybe not, but I feel that. And I can only say that's been down to the association. They've given me everything I could have asked for. And my position right now is, well, I don't need anything else. And you're right. That was just like, that'll come at another time. And then we'll have a different discussion then. But, I like the fact that 4 years I think is about right. I don't think a manager should be longer than that in international football. For us, every nation's completely different. And it'll be someone else's turn in 2 years' time.
We could ask you about this all day. In another world we would, but I'm mindful of time and the fact that you've actually got a game. Just on Ghana, I was wondering, why you chose them specifically, what kind of challenges they may pose, and does a game like this help get March out of the system?
I weren't really involved in the choice for this one. We know we have to play friendlies because the £1 million fine is something we can't go anywhere near. You know that rule, yes? So when when people moaned about me playing England, it was like, look, we didn't want to travel, but we can't afford the £1 million not to play a game, so we have to play. I'm not sure that people quite understand that quite yet. We have to play 2 games. We were late and because we didn't know if we were going to be travelling to a World Cup, or we tried to get 1 or 2 plans together. But Ghana come available to us in a team from a different continent, a team that have already qualified for World Cup, a country that I've been to myself. A lot of players that I know come from academy that I've seen as well in Right to Dream. So, yeah, there's a lot of appeal to it. Then they go and change their manager. Then you're like, great. Now we have to because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, or we got a reasonably good idea on the history of how Carlos has managed and the teams he's already had. So, you look back into that, or he might be completely different because Ghana were playing a completely different way to how he sets a team up, or he might go back to that. So we'll find out tomorrow. And that's, I quite like, because we have to adapt. And there is no shape he's going to be able to play that we haven't played against. So we definitely have the solutions, and how quick we can move into those solutions is good. We can't waste a half of trying to work something out. It's like literally a minute, 2 minutes. So it's going to test us. And the same in Romania as well. New manager. So it's good. It allows us to be very adaptable, not overthink what's going to happen, or, said to the players, we got a rough idea, but it could change. Now, for us, it's about a lot what we do. It doesn't change, certainly without the ball. We might have to tweak 1 or 2 things, but our shape in the game will adapt to what they do. But we might have to be live doing it, which is great.
Can it be tricky to get yourselves up as a group of players and coaches? I know you don't believe in the term friendly, but ticket sales have been a bit slow, naturally maybe, given what happened in March and the fact that Wales aren't going to a World Cup. How do you pick up the intensity?
No, it's a difficult period, I have to be honest. Don't forget it was half term last week. This is a midweek game. If you've been with your kids for a week, I'm not sure I want to take them to a game Tuesday night and spend another 2 hours with them. So I understand quite a lot on this. But look, our Nations League games will be sold out. The only part of this, when I look at our record in June friendlies or June competitive games, it's nowhere near good enough. 13 odd games, 9 losses, 2 wins, 1 was last year, and the rest draws. You want to be a serious nation? What, qualifies don't happen in June? Yeah, they do. Our record's nowhere near. So we have to correct that. If you think you're coming here to wind down, you're wrong. You're wrong. Now, if you think you're an association, you can cut corners because there are only 2 friendlies. You're wrong. You're wrong. It doesn't work. So we have to change that. And that's all the motivation I need. Get this record sorted out. A top team can't have this record in June. So we need to correct that. So I apologise for my tone on this, but you can see how important it is to me. Our record at this time of year is nowhere near acceptable. Now, I understand fans have paid a lot of money. They've watched games all season. Now you're adding another couple of games in. I'm okay with that. There can be 5 people there. It don't matter. We've got to sort this June window out. So, yeah, that's my motivation. Thank you.
Hey, Craig. Just wanted to ask about some of the youngsters that you've got in there. You've got a really youthful kind of amount of players come in particular, the boys from the under-19s. Can you just run us through kind of how they're getting on in camp and kind of your thought process in amalgamating them into the team?
No, well, we had a camp last week with the EFL players. So the Premier League players, obviously, they're selective. Now, if you look at this period, like EFL players, like apart from 1 or 2 who might reach the playoffs, but they finish from about like first couple of days of May, and then we get to play them, like you have a month off leading into these games. No, it doesn't work. So we have to then have a period where we need to train you, like 2 weeks, not a problem, or a week and a half, and then we train you for a week because we need to get your legs up and running. Sorry, but it gives us an opportunity to bring in players that have done well in the younger age groups or maybe have been on the fringes. We definitely used it to really big effect last year because Lawlor was in that group, and then suddenly after it was like Lawlor stays with us, like he's good enough to play for us now. So it's a real worthwhile exercise because you get to really see players then who you feel can add to your squad, and now is definitely the case. There was definitely 1 or 2 who have been drafted in that we see can add to this squad. And there's one who's very young, like say, for instance, in Jayden, for instance. Now, I've watched him a lot with the 21s with Leeds. He's done very well in the younger setups for Wales, but he's definitely a player that we like. So space sort of creeps up. What are we wasting time for? Let's get him in. We believe this boy's got a real great chance. Now, of course, there has to be other progressions to his game to be able to allow him to become a top player for Wales. But what we've seen already in his development, and that's from Leeds, not from us, that we see a player with real high potential that could have a huge impact in an area that's going to be really important for us.
I mean, they are very young in terms of footballing word, but we've got the under-19s championships coming up. Are you going to be keeping a close eye? Are they likely to sort of drop back into that squad?
I don't pick that team. That's Guns, who's done brilliant, by the way. Guns is top, like really good coach. Good person, but really good coach. Like, if Guns rings me up and says, Bellas, look, you need to have a look at this player. You tell me, Guns, no problem, bring him in. He's really top. So he's been doing brilliant work with these boys. It's a great tournament to be able to host it, but also, I think 8 teams. Yeah. Like, it's tough. But exactly where young players, if they get the opportunity to play in a European Championships at under-19s, I would give anything to be involved in this as a young player. So, I wish them all the best. I'm sure they're going to do really well, and we're going to have 1 or 2 that will be going into that as well. So, so excited to go and see that for myself.
At slightly other end of the age scale, I've seen you've had Aaron Ramsey in coaching with you, or doing a little bit in terms of working alongside you as well. It's the first chance I've had to chat to you since he retired. First of all, how is he? He's off running marathons and coaching
and doing real times in them as well. It's like, that's not normal, surely. I'm doing a 20-minute run around the lakes, and I'm literally, Garant, you would overtake me. It's like, I'm sorry to look at, but you caught my eye straight away, and you didn't want to look up. You were like, please don't look at me. Yeah, I picked you up. I'm so bad, yeah. I couldn't go anywhere near it. I've not. So I really take my hat off to him. But also, what I like with when you've just finished stay active, stay fit, because if you give it that period, the harder it is to get back into. And I can only tell from my own experience, unfortunately. That's why I'm only doing 20-minute runs, because that's all the body can take. But yeah, I'm really, really mindful of, when a player finishes, how's he filling his time? How's he adapting? They're really important. Like, you have to keep an eye, so always asking him what you're up to, what you're doing. And you're completely right. He's been so busy with marathons, so he don't need me at this present moment, but he's always welcome anytime he wants to come with us. I'd love to have him. The door's always open with him. Like it is for any Welsh player, it's not just Aaron. Any Welsh player who's been, like I've always said, I've been down the years, I've always played for Wales, the door is always open for you. You ever want to come in, you want to watch training, you want to be a part of anything we do, you're always welcome. And some are using, some won't, and some have and some haven't. But Aaron, he has asked, and I don't know what that was, sorry. By all means, it's like, what an example for young players to be able to see. It's been great.
Do you think he has the coaching bug? He's obviously had a little taste at Cardiff, hasn't he? And then obviously he is doing bits and pieces.
That wasn't much of a taste. It was helping out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but he'll be a coach. I'm pretty sure of it, and I'm pretty sure one day you'll be speaking to him here. That's my opinion. By the way, I'm not recommending anything happens or before you jump. I just believe he's going to be that talented, and I believe he's going to be a big asset to whoever he's with, and I'd like to see that with Wales one day. I don't know when. Could be 2 years, 4 years, 40 years. I do not know, but I believe we might see that one day.
And then just
I hope so, as a fan.
You've had four.
Yeah,
I've actually 3. So yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Just wanted to pick up on Jayden, if I may. What sort of qualities have sort of particularly impressed you about him? Because obviously there might be quite a few fans who are quite unfamiliar with him.
Oh, of course, unless you watch Leeds under-21s and you travel to the Northwest Cat 1 League, you probably might not. Yeah, well, I have. Trust me, there wasn't international managers where I was. I was around about 20-odd people watching. It was like, who's he watching? It was rare. I think not many international football, like some have to go to Barcelona to watch their players. I'm in an under-21 game. But I love that. It's not a problem. And when I seen the kid, I was like, wow, this kid's top. But the reports I had before that left me or give me the opportunity to get excited about the kid, and when I seen him, I was completely impressed. Watched him since. He's been training with Leeds first team as well, so definitely monitoring him. Mobile, not just from a full-back area, can move into the 6, can move into the pockets, can go high wide, got a good art of defending, physically exceptional. Loads of improvement to be made, which all 17, 18-year-old kids have to make. But at this present moment at Leeds, they're doing an incredible job with him. It's a lot to be excited about for me personally.
And a couple of other youngsters, obviously being Ollie Bostock and Cam Hungry.
Yeah.
Cam, it feels like Swansea City fans might feel like he's been around for a while, made his breakthrough in 2022. What have you made of his sort of progress since then? Sort of been a little bit up and down for him, or
I watched him a bit at Dundee, and I got to be honest, I liked him. There was bits, like everything, you want to see a little bit more of, but it was nice. He was on I wanted to see him in the EFL camp. Sometimes, as much as you can watch from afar, when you really get to see him, you get to see him closely, he's really been impressive. He's the type of winger I really like. He's aggressive. He wants to commit fullbacks. Top left foot. I've been really impressed by him, and he's definitely deserved this call-up. Good kid. Handles himself well. Speaks well. He's got all the markings that I would say that a Welsh player should have. So I've been really impressed by him, really impressed.
You yourself admitted by the end how draining it had been for you.
Yeah, emotionally draining.
How's that sort of process been of recharging, recalibrating? Has it been at all challenging at all?
No, it was like 1 or 2 days, but like, get on with it. It's life ain't stopping, so it's actually I've only had to talk about it by being here. It's you guys who talk about it. But I knew these questions. I understand that. But life moves on, and the part of it is like, how can you improve? How can the team improve? And I've seen a lot of it. I honestly, it's just not like lip service. We can definitely improve. And that leaves you excited, but also myself. I'm like, yeah, we can move this, or we can just tweak this, adapt this little bit in possession, adapt this out of possession, add another string to our bow. So that's been nice. It's been nice to work on 1 or 2 things this week, and also for them to get to see it as well, because the simple fact, these 2 games are so important. But when we get to September, it's like, get your gloves on. It's like, these teams are not going to wait. This is going to be like top level football, and it's exactly where we want to be. So I'm going to get tested. The players are going to get tested. And let's see where we are as well. I'm looking forward to it. No problem.
Craig, you said to Dav that you had sort of offers that would have given you things that this job gives you in terms of, I guess, opportunities. But what was it about this job then that made you want to stay?
The crap pay. No. The support. Honestly, the support. Didn't you speak to Noel? You ever spoke to him?
Once or twice.
It's all right, isn't it? When he's ringing me, how's the best manager in the world doing? And I'm like, no. This is the type of person, he lifts you. So when you talk about dwelling, and he doesn't give you that. He doesn't allow you to be that way. And he's always pushing, testing and that. And I always I like that in a person. But also, I like this group of players. I couldn't see it being fair for me to walk away. Do you understand? I'm like, that's not right. That's not right. If they have enough of me, then okay. But when you've got 1 or 2 players ringing you up, is this true? And then, listen, we're not going anywhere. We're in it. We're going again. We've got another 2 years. Let's go. And I feel that's right. And I feel I've always wanted to do this role. Always wanted to do this role. I don't know what, I didn't know when. Do you understand? I didn't know if it was going to be there, or it could be in a number of years' time. I don't know. But it was always something I wanted in my life. And I have this. So I don't want to wish this away. I'm not going to wish this away. I get great backing. And that's all I can ask for. And that's the honest truth. It's something I've always wanted to do. And it's been 2 years already. And trust me, these 2 years are going to fly by. You'll be speaking to someone else maybe in a major tournament, maybe in August, maybe you'll be presented with someone else and you'll be speaking to someone else. And they can give you the same rubbish that I give you, hopefully, probably in a better way. But no, and that's, I'm trying to be as honest as I can with this. But it's so important. This is everything I've wanted to do. He messages me. And I don't mean to say he, IG, who I completely adore. And it's quite emotional, eh?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not going, IG, we're you again, you know? And I got to be honest, even like, he won't know how important his messages are. And it's like, I don't think I could leave IG, you know? There's such important people in my life. And like, at the time, you'd have enough, I reckon. I'd have enough for you, but it's not yet.
No.
It's not yet. We feel like, you know? And I even feel with you guys. I think we've still got another 2 years in us, you know? And you will be like, look, he's got to go, you know? Let's freshen this up a little bit. So, and that's it. It's not about anything else, honestly. I believe it will come when it comes. And I'll react when it's time to. Do you understand? But at this present moment, it isn't. And I am ambitious, trust me. This is not me. I'm ambitious. I want to earn loads and loads of money. But there's a time. There's a time. And now at this present moment, it just doesn't feel that time.
And you mentioned earlier as well, you know, you feel like the manager in this job, it's a 4-year cycle. I wonder why you feel it's a 4-year job. Why can't it be more?
Because you don't pay well enough.
Do you I don't know where to go with that, Craig.
No.
Do you feel like 2 cracks at major tournaments is about right?
I agree. I can see 1 or 2 might be different, you know, understand what I mean. But I believe in this, and I believe for you as well, and for the players. You know, we have a lot of emerging top young coaches coming through our system as well. And I believe our keeps it active, keeps it pushing. And I believe that the country needs that person as well that comes in, that's 100%, that's going to give everything. I'm not saying no one has before, because they definitely have. But it's how you keep that freshness as well, and you keep your pathway going. There's a lot of brilliant work this association's done, and to me that seems about right. You get a Euros, you get a World Cup, or you get a World Cup, or you get a Euros, and then it's thank you very much, and someone else has the opportunity to do it and maybe move it again, you know, or maybe sustain. That's what we'll see. But I believe that's about for our nation. Now, I don't make this call. It's not my, and I'm not telling anyone what they should do and what they shouldn't do, but I feel that's probably about right. No worries.
Yep.
Craig, I can play these meetings in Swansea.
Yeah.
I was at the Northern Ireland game and saw your press conference afterwards. And I asked you at that stage about your preparation for becoming a manager and your handling the media. I said to you at the time, that when you answered questions, I said to you, apart from almost any other manager I've seen giving interviews to any venue in the world, you speak with an authenticity that I see sadly lacking in many other people. That's not criticism of them. It's more my comments on the way you do things. Listening to this press conference today, you indicate to us that you enjoy the job. It comes across so clearly to somebody sitting in the position I find myself in today.
Oh, thank you.
I remember also what you talked about what we need to do next, which is have a rest. Of course, you weren't entitled to after a period of games that you had. You were asked by a gentleman to my right about what you were going to do. In fact, he said you would drain that game. I thought you had incredible energy on that evening. And one thing that stands out for me was that you were looking ahead, and you said to us here today, looking on better things, much football, and for yourself. One of the things that I remember was a new manager just joined a club called Tottenham Hotspur in North London, Mr. DaSilva, and I remember you talking about him because of the links that you have by your colleagues here. Did you have a chance to speak to him?
No, they were fighting relegation. It was like, this is not the good time to go in, enter the training ground at this present moment. It was, so it was, if they would have got safer earlier, then I would have definitely looked to go in there. But it's, it was obviously last day, so I'll have to revert that hopefully pre-season if they're in the UK based. But it's something it'd definitely be on the agenda next year.
Great, thank you very much.
Oh no, absolute pleasure.
Tomorrow, when obviously as you prepare for the games, they're coming fast in the not too distant future.
Oh, thank you very much. Very much appreciate it.
No. Oh, diolch.
Thank you, Joel. See you tomorrow at the stadium. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers, Craig.
No worries, thank you.
See you tomorrow.